Sometimes the only way to find yourself is to disappear for a while. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt tired, but you don't even know why? Like you're always busy, but nothing's really moving. You scroll, you watch, you compare, and deep down you feel stuck, like you're just surviving. When you were born to lead, you're not lazy, you're just overstimulated. You're not broken, you're just disconnected. You wake up with no energy. You chase things that don't fulfill you. You say you want change, but something keeps pulling you back to the same place. That's not a lack of motivation, that's a lack of clarity. And clarity only comes in the quiet. That's why this video exists, because I know what it's like to feel like you're wasting your potential. To look in the mirror and not recognize the man staring back. To crave respect, but not even respect yourself. So here's the truth. If you want to rebuild your discipline, if you want to find peace in a chaotic world, if you want to become the man you were meant to be, then you need to go ghost. Not to disappear from the world, but to finally reconnect with yourself and with God. In this video, I'll share with you 10 deep, life-changing truths you only learn when you have the courage to step away and evolve in silence. This is not motivation, this is a wake-up call. Let's get it. Truth 1. You're not isolating, you're reconnecting. People will say you're being distant, they'll say you're acting different, but they don't understand. You're not running away from the world, you're just finally choosing to listen to your own voice. We live in constant noise, notifications, expectations, opinions, and somewhere along the way, you lost your own signal. Going ghost isn't about cutting everyone off, it's about cutting through the chaos so you can hear your soul again. This is not isolation, it's reconstruction. It's healing. It's you saying, I'm done living on autopilot, because the real you isn't gone. He's just buried under distractions. And now you're digging him back up. Truth 2. You need time alone with God. Not with your phone, not with Netflix, not in group chats where nobody talks about real life. You alone with God. That's where clarity lives. That's where purpose gets downloaded. That's where identity gets restored. Look at the Bible. Before Jesus started his mission, he went into the wilderness, 40 days, alone, with the Father. No applause, no crowd, no distractions, just solitude and surrender. Why? Because before the public moment, there must be a private transformation. Moses, he spent 40 years in the desert before God called him to lead. David, anointed as king, but went back to the fields alone with his sheep until it was time to step into the palace. The pattern is clear. God isolates before he elevates. But here's the problem. Most men today are afraid of being alone because silence forces them to face what they've been avoiding. The wounds, the shame, the truth. But healing doesn't happen in noise, alignment doesn't happen in chaos, and God won't compete with your distractions. So if you feel like God's been distant, maybe it's not him who left. Maybe you've been too loud to hear him. You don't need more content, you need more quiet. Step away, not to disappear, but to reconnect, not to escape, but to realign. Because in the stillness, God speaks, and when he does, everything shifts. Truth 3. Distraction is killing your growth. Let's be real. You don't need more time. You need less noise. You say you can't focus, but you're watching 15-second videos for 3 hours straight. You say you're tired, but your mind hasn't rested dias. Always online, always reachable, always consuming, and never creating. You want to grow? Then you need to cut the noise. Social media, it's not just wasting your time. It's training your brain to avoid depth, to stay on the surface, to chase dopamine instead of purpose. You start your day scrolling, comparing yourself to people que nem conhecem você. And by the time you look up, you already feel behind. Bro, that's not laziness. That's mental overload. Even Jesus, After healing crowds, after performing miracles, he would withdraw to lonely places and pray. Luke 5:16. He knew power comes from pause, strength comes from silence. You keep asking God for clarity, but can't give him 5 minutes of undivided attention. You keep saying you want to evolve, but won't let go of the things that are distracting your destiny. So here's the challenge. Turn off the noise, even just for a few days. No scrolling, no endless messages, no background chaos. And watch what happens. Your thoughts will get louder, but so will your truth. And that's where real growth begins. Truth 4. You already know what to do, you're just not doing it. Let's stop pretending. You know you should wake up earlier. You know you should stop watching porn. You know you should hit the gym, eat clean, pray, focus. You already know. The problem isn't lack of knowledge, it's lack of execution. Discipline hasn't failed you, you've been abandoning it. And you know why? Because distractions are easier than discomfort. Because scrolling is easier than facing yourself. Because deep down, you're scared of who you could become if you actually committed. But let me ask you this, how long are you going to keep betraying yourself? How many promises have you made and broken? How many versions of you have died halfway through because you didn't stay consistent? The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret, that one lasts. Look at Paul. I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do. This I keep on doing. Romans 7:19. Even the greatest struggled, but they kept fighting, kept showing up, kept choosing spirit over flesh. So don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for a new year. Don't wait for rock bottom. Start now. Messy, inconsistent, tired, but start. Because you already know what to do. It's time to actually do it. Truth 5. Self-love is not a feeling. It's discipline. A lot of people talk about loving yourself, but most of the time they confuse comfort with love. Loving yourself isn't sleeping in every day because you're tired. It's not ordering junk food because you deserve it. It's not posting cute quotes while silently self-sabotaging. Real self-love is doing what's good for you. Even when you don't feel like it, it's showing up, it's setting boundaries, it's saying no to short-term pleasure so you can say yes to long-term peace. You don't prove love with words, you prove it with actions. Every time you push through resistance, every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you pray instead of procrastinate, you're telling your future self, I've got your back. That's what love looks like. Not always soft, not always easy, but always worth it. The Bible says, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. Hebrews 12:11. You say you want confidence, you want to be respected, you want to lead. Then start by showing up for yourself. When no one's watching, when it's boring, when it's hard, because self-love without self-discipline is just self-sabotage with better branding. Truth 6. No one's coming to save you. It's all on you. When you go ghost, you stop pointing fingers. You stop blaming your parents, your boss, your ex, your past. You stop saying, if they hadn't hurt me, if life was easier, if I just had more support. And you start asking, well, what can I do with what I have right now? That's the moment you grow, because blaming is easy. Responsibility, that's manhood. And yeah, some people had it easier. Some started with more. Some were handed opportunities you never had. But let me be real with you. Nobody's coming. Not your friends, not your family, not some mentor who sees your potential. Not even God, unless you're willing to move. Even the prodigal son had to stand up and walk back home. The father was waiting, but the first step was still on the son. Stop waiting for a rescue. Stop hoping someone will drag you out of your mess. Because the day you stop blaming is the day you start building. No more excuses. No more maybe tomorrow. No more they did this to me. You're a grown man. Own your story. Rewrite the ending. Truth 7. Going ghost reveals who's really for you. When you stop being the one who always reaches out, when you stop texting first, calling first, checking in, you find out real quick who actually values you and who just got used to your energy. The uncomfortable truth? Some people were never really there for you. They were there for how you made them feel, how you listened, how you supported, how you carried their weight when they didn't want to face their own. But here's where psychology hits hard. We teach people how to treat us by what we tolerate and how much we give without receiving. If you're always available, always overextending, always showing up for people who go silent when you're in need, that's not love. That's self-abandonment dressed up as loyalty. And when you disappear, even just for a little while, to heal, to rebuild, to breathe, you'll see who notices, who checks in, who gets uncomfortable with your growth, and who goes quiet because you're no longer useful. But don't take it personal. Take it as clarity. Sometimes God removes people not as punishment but as protection. Because the version of you that's rising, he needs stronger circles, people who pour back, people who love without needing to drain you. Let your silence filter your circle. The ones who stay, those are your people. Truth 8. You can't focus if your mind isn't at peace. Let me hit you with this. You're not distracted, you're dysregulated. Your nervous system is fried, your mind is in survival mode, and you're trying to be productive in a battlefield. That's why you can't focus. That's why your goals never stick. That's why you feel tired after doing nothing. Because your brain is constantly switching tabs. Instagram, WhatsApp, doubts, regrets, insecurities. It's not multitasking, it's self-destruction in slow motion. Here's the truth no one told you. Focus is not a skill, it's a consequence. You don't try to focus, you become focused when your mind is clear, your soul is calm, and your environment isn't screaming for your attention. And how do you get there? Silence, boundaries, stillness, and choosing peace over pressure. Even Jesus, with crowds pressing in, miracles to perform, people depending on him, he still withdrew to quiet places, to pray, to reset. Luke 5:16, because he knew you can't pour into others from an empty soul. So why are you trying? You're not weak, you're overstimulated, you're not broken, you're just constantly plugged into noise that doesn't feed you. You don't need another productivity hack. You need internal peace. You want to win the war outside, fix the war inside. Because a scattered mind will always sabotage a focused life. Truth 9. Not everyone deserves access to your vision. Let me be blunt. Some people don't need to hear your goals. They need to see your results in silence. Because every time you share your plans with the wrong people, you open the door to doubt, envy, and spiritual sabotage. Some will pretend to support you, while secretly hoping you stay stuck. Some will smile, while planting seeds of fear in your mind. And if you're not grounded, those words grow roots. Psychology calls it external validation addiction. You speak your dreams just to feel seen, but the more you talk, the less you act. Talking about the vision triggers the same dopamine as achieving it without doing the work. That's why you keep announcing and never executing. Now look at how God moves. Joseph shared his dreams too early, and his own brothers tried to kill him. Your vision is sacred. Stop handing it to people who can't carry it. You don't need applause during the process. You need armor, so go quiet. Build in silence, heal in silence, grow in silence. And when you finally show up, let your life do the talking. No more over-explaining, no more justifying why you're quiet. Silence is protection, silence is power, silence is spiritual warfare. Speak less, move more, and remember, a lion doesn't announce when it's about to strike. Truth 10. Stop announcing, just become. You don't need to keep posting new chapter. You don't need to explain your grind. You don't owe anyone a status update. The strongest transformations happen off the radar, in the shadows, in the silence. There's power in going ghost, not to disappear forever, but to build the version of you that can't be ignored when he shows up. While they were watching your old content, you were in the gym. While they were asking, "Where have you been?" you were rebuilding from the ground up. Let them think you fell off. Let them talk. Let them laugh. Because one day you'll walk in the room, leaner, sharper, clearer, focused, and they'll realize you didn't vanish. You were evolving. You didn't quit. You were preparing. You didn't lose. You were loading. No big speech, no big reveal, just presence. Because when your energy is aligned, you don't have to say a word. So from now on, less proving, more becoming, less talking, more doing. Let your silence build the man. Let your results introduce him. If you made it this far, maybe it's because something inside you is waking up. A voice that says, "It's time." No more waiting, no more noise, no more excuses. So here's my invitation. Don't just watch this video, respond to it. Start your ghost season today. Cut the noise, rebuild in silence, and become the man God called you to be. Not someday, but now. Drop your declaration in the comments. Tell me, "I'm going ghost to evolve." Let the world know you're not disappearing, you're becoming. And before you go, check if you're subscribed, because this channel is for men like you. Men who are done living small, done living asleep, done living someone else's story. Also, if this message hit you, smash that like button so it reaches another man who needs this wake-up call just as much as you did. Your silence is sacred, your growth is real, and your story is just beginning. I'll see you in the next one. Stay focused, stay grounded, stay ghost.